Hey y'all. So before I scrap that electric chainsaw, I just wanted to show you the finds that I got yesterday. It's just amazing the stuff that people throw out. Got that tin, there's some light bulbs. The bulbs are actually plastic, but sorry about that. The ends are brass and they're really easy to clean. And you might wonder, all right, why are you doing that? Well, I scrap it all. And let's see, some hooks here. Sometimes they're brass. These are steel, so they'll just go in the iron pile. I may keep them though, I'm not sure. Nice piece of copper tubing. This is aluminum. I don't know what that is, but it's steel. This right here, it's some sort of like bottle topper, but this part is brass. Aluminum frying pan, some iron, some hook, and this is a copper tea kettle. So that's pretty cool. This is aluminum and a couple light fixtures with a little bit of wire. This tube, that's copper. This ladle, that part's aluminum. The handle's steel. Trunk of lead. Some old knives. This part is iron, but this part, I took a file to it, and the handles are actually brass. So that's pretty cool. And then a Keurig coffee maker. I've never taken one apart. I don't normally grab coffee makers because they're just mostly plastic. And even though you can take some metal with plastic on it to the scrapyard, when it's just too much plastic, they really don't like it. But I grabbed this one because it felt really heavy. Excuse me, sorry about that. And so I was really curious, what is inside? And I actually just put this on the scale, and it weighs 7 pounds. So I will be making a video showing you what is inside a Keurig and to find out if it's worth it. Alright, scrappers, I'm going to pause this, set up my camera and the tripod, and then I'll dive into that electric chainsaw. Be back in a bit. Alright, let's dive into this electric chainsaw. This thing does not work anymore. It was headed to the landfill. So I thought, hey, I'd like to scrap this. Got it on an oil absorb because this reservoir is leaking oil everywhere. So I don't want to get my desk or my workbench all oily. All right, so first I'm going to remove this bar. Take off this plastic cover. Oh yeah, lots of organic material in there. Let's go right into the garbage. Now this bar probably still works. I might keep it. If not, it's just scrap steel. So I'll set that off to the side for the moment. Dry my hands. Oily stuff. So not a lot going on in there. It's plastic. There's a little bit of iron there. I'll probably try to pull that out. If not, the whole thing will just go in the garbage. Okay. A couple screws right here. Let me adjust my camera maybe a little bit. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, so screw here, screw here. Got my trusty DeWalt. This cover just comes right off. pretty much plastic, little metal spring. Unfortunately, where I live, this kind of plastic is not recyclable, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Okay. Go ahead and clip these wires. There's the cord. I'll deal with that in a little bit. Okay. So, not much going on in there. There's the drive for the chain. Okay, and here's the motor. And I can see in here there's a couple screws. Oh, that just fell out. That's all right. Oil's leaking all over my oil absorb. So I've never done one of these, so it's going to be a learning experience for myself. The screws came out. There's a seam here. I can separate stuff. Okay. There's a screw right there. Might as well go ahead and take that out. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're finding good scraps. You know, it's amazing. If you drive around your neighborhood, you'll just see all the stuff that's piled out by the curb next to garbage cans. And I tell you, there's money to be made in there. This is one thing I really enjoy about scrapping is you taking something that is trash to somebody and turning it into cash. Little metal sprocket or gear. Okay, so you can see this is splitting open, but something is still keeping it together. There's a little bit of, so that's part of the fun, is trying to figure out how to get the thing apart. I'm gonna remove this handle. Not doing anything, but I just went out of my way. Okay, I removed the screw. The handle's still stuck. That's all right. Okay. I don't see any more screws. Interesting. This plastic wants to separate, but it's somehow being held in here. Maybe it's just pressed in. I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to do is hit this with the hammer. Might get a little bit loud, so all right, here we go. Hey, the handle came off. But the motor still stuck. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Well, I'm going to pause the video for a moment here and figure out how that comes apart, and then I'll start recording again. All right, stand by. Hey, I'm back. All right. So, the way that works is this just spins, and there it is. And the rest of that, minus a little bit of steel here, steel bushing right there. little steel right there. The rest is plastic. I'll deal with that off camera. Okay. Now, see if I can get this plastic separated. That's one thing about working with stuff that is oily. It just gets all over your tools and your hands, and it's hard to hold on to things. Wow. All right. Get out the hammer, the safety glasses, and there's a seam right here. So I'm just going to pound right here with the claw part of the hammer. Flip it over, same side. I really don't want you taking this apart. Can't stop me though. Okay, so here's it should be copper. You always want to test it with file. Sometimes they're made out of aluminum. This is copper. It's right here. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's definitely copper. Okay. Plastic. And then there's the other part of the copper motor. So these windings are copper. And then this, I know the lighting isn't the greatest, but this stuff around here, it's also copper. I will be making a future video showing you how I get the copper out of these. It can be a little bit tough. You also can just throw these in a bucket and take them to the scrap yard as a copper bearing motor. I think I get like 18 cents a pound. So you have to decide what works for you. But there is a way to get this copper, but that's a future video. So I'll set that off to the side. Okay, let me clean up my mess here. I don't need this oil absorb. They work great though, because they only absorb oil. They don't absorb water. And we don't want to pollute in the environment. We all can do our little bit. Okay, that's off to the side. All right. So, this is the power cord for the electric chainsaw. Just like to pull off the ends there. Use side cutters and just slightly squeeze it and pull it off. This right here is a little switch. And these are brass. So what I like to do is grab it with my side cutters and just twist. And you get it, the seam starts to spread apart. So you can take a little screwdriver, get it in there, twist, break the plastic. And let's see, let's get this completely opened up. All right. Now let's go ahead and pull these off and then put them in my hand and show you what I got. You always want to test stuff with a magnet. Nothing sticks. And that is all brass. Now there is this little piece. I'm going to throw the rest of my brass bucket. Might be really hard to see because this is tiny. But right here, it's a silver button. It's a silver contact. Now it's not pure silver. It's mixed with other metals. But I save these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I just cut it off. There's that. And then the rest is just brass. But maybe one day I might do something with those. I'm not sure. I figure it doesn't hurt to hold on to them. Okay. So this plug right here, this is brass, but you know, it's coated in stuff. So I just clip it off and I throw that into my dirty brass bucket. And it's the same with this piece right here. This plastic inside is the brass. It's just dirty brass. Cut this one off. Dirty brass. Clip the wires off of this. My scrapier doesn't want that. Now, here's the plug. Most scrap yards want the wire cut off from the plugs. Mine does. Some, they don't care if you leave this on there. Now, these prongs right here, these are brass. We'll be making a video shortly showing you how I remove this brass from this material. It's super simple. But for now, I'm not going to deal with it. Okay. So, a little bit of insulated copper wire. And then now we got this motor. I'm going to clip these wires off. And I'm going to show you how I get the copper out of this kind of motor. Super easy. I'm going to get those zip ties cut off. Get them out of my way. Come on, buddy. All right. You want to get yourself, if you're going to scrap, you got to get yourself, it's called side cutters. This is a Doyle brand, and I have been thoroughly impressed with this. I've cut so much, and it's still super sharp, and they have a lifetime warranty if it breaks. Okay. Get that stuff out of the side there. Okay, I like to get under here and just kind of bend the coil up. So when I get my cutters on there, I'll have room to cut. Now here's another wire cutter. This is made by Doyle. It's a lot bigger. You can cut the wire with these. I'll just go ahead and cut one side. Remember, when you do it, like I showed you in another video, just take small little bites. Otherwise, if you try to cut this whole thing, you're just going to struggle. It's just too thick of copper. So little bites, cutting through. Pretty simple. All right, so that one's through. Now I'm going to use this one on this side. And again, keep this up against the bench, and I'm just pushing down instead of squeezing. Sometimes it's a little tough, so you just persuade it with the hammer. Well, there it is. Okay. I'm going to get my camera moved over to my vise so I can pull this copper out. Let's see here. Okay. So there's the side right there. You can see the cut copper. Uncut side goes up into my vise. Now I really recommend you get a vise. I mean, if you're going to scrap anything, it's like having a third hand or even a fourth hand. They can be expensive, but you can find these at garage sales, at thrift stores, pawn shops, Facebook Marketplace. Invest in one of them. Totally worth the money. Okay. Get myself, this is a broken screwdriver. You can see the tip's broken, so I use it as a pry bar. Just get under there, and then I like to stick the screwdriver on top of the other coil, and then I just pry up and just wiggle it out, and there is that copper. Copper, yeah. Put it in a little tray there. Get under there, just pry up. There's, oh, I don't need that garbage. Hold on. Get that zip tie off of there. Get that piece of garbage right there off. And there's your copper. And that can go into your steel bucket. Okay, I'm going to weigh this copper. I don't expect it to weigh much, but it is copper. I'll scoot you over here, get you to my scale. Now this is an aluminum loaf pan. It weighs like 1 ounce, so it's not really going to affect the weight very much. So there it's at. And that, kind of hard to see, but that says 7 ounces. So that's 1 ounce shy of a half a pound. So boom, there it is. All right. Well, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you'd hit the subscribe button, that would help me out a lot. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Again, that will help me grow my channel. And I just hope you guys have a great week. I really do. Remember, stay kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. And may God bless you. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.